Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. This is scenario 2.3 with the character Drelm, and we're over at the Earthworks. We're at this location. On your check that has the electricity trait, remove any one die. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of Pharasma, and the first item we have is the yellow jelly. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and read it. It's a ooze. It's a basic. What else we got here? Ooze, acid, basic. So it doesn't have electricity. Combat 8. It's immune to mental, piercing, poison, and slashing traits, which really sucks because Drelm has a Falcata. So he can't use it, but he'll go ahead and use this Death Grip spell. If the check to defeat has the acid or cold trait, add 3. Sweet, it has the cold trait. The Death Grip. Nice. We're going to Death Grip this yellow jelly. Alright, so this is discard to use your arcane or divine skill plus 2d6. Wow. And we can ignore the after you act effect. Wow, man, that is just so fortunate. Okay, so 2d8 plus the divine skill is another d8. Alright, so we rolled a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we handily defeated that Bane. And now the Death Grip, we're going to try to recharge that. Let's go ahead and try to recharge. Trying to get all the cards in order here. There we go. So we need an Arcane Divine 10. Drelm has D8 plus 3. 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so unfortunately we did not recharge that spell. So that is going to get discarded. Yeah, we'll do that. And Drelm has in his hand the Speak with the Dead spell. So the way I play with this card is that you have to defeat a monster and then play the spell. I don't know if there's like a rule on that, but that's just thematically how I'm playing. So we now have the Speak with the Dead going on. We're talking with all that yellow jelly. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We're going to now reset Drelm's hand. And now we're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of the Elements. We're exploring, and we get Final Knights. Okay, it's Trigger, Curse, Undead, Elite. We did not examine this card, so we have to do a Wisdom, Intelligence, Charisma, Diplomacy. And here's what I like about Speak with the Dead, is we can add 1 die to our Intelligence or Wisdom checks. Sweet, and we have a Wisdom right there of D8. Drelm's Wisdom is D8. We can add another D8. And we need a 7. We really don't like this card. Unfortunately, we have in our hand a Cleric of Nethys. We kept him from last adventure. So we'll go ahead and just roll the 2d8. Alright, so we rolled a 6 and a 1 is 7. So we don't need to use our Cleric of Nethys. So, okay, cool. So we did succeed in banishing that boon, the Final Knights. Alright, looking at Drelm's hand, he likes it. He's just going to keep it. So we will go ahead and advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Abdar. We're going to explore. We get a TUSSAH Silk Cloak, Constitution, Fortitude 4. You know, we're on level 2, so we are really not interested in these basic items. But D6, so we do acquire it, but we're going to go ahead and discard this card. We don't really need it. Drelm is going to keep his hand the way it's at. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of Matt. And our exploration is the Burglar's Buckler. Okay, this is a level 1 treasure, so that's a lot more interesting. Constitution, Fortitude, Disable. Well, Drelm has a Disable of D8 plus 2. Pretty sweet. So, but we do not get it. So 3, 4, 5. Man, we only missed by 1. The question is do we want... No, we're not going to do it. That boon is gone. I mean, we could have used the Cleric of Nethys, but no. Alright, advancing the Blessings deck, and we get the Curse of Daybane, which means that we can no longer explore unless the top card of the Blessings deck does not have the basic trait. Well, fortunately, it's a Blessing of Matt, so we can still explore this round, which is what we're going to do. Alright, we get the Coal of Uncanny Discernment, Alright, so for that, let's see, intelligence perception. It's a item B, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. So let's see. Intelligence perception. We're just going to roll Drelm's D6 intelligence. And we do not get that boon. It gets banished. Alright, I think we're doing... Well, the thing is that... we have the Curse of Daybane going on now. So we have 1, 2, 3... We got 5 cards left in the location deck. And we got 5 cards left in the blessings deck. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and use the Blessing of Nethys. It says here, discard this card to examine the top 2 cards of your location deck. Put them back in any order, then explore your location. Okay, so I like that. We're going to do it. So we have to examine the top 2 cards of our location deck. So examining the first one, it's a Shock Lizard. And examining the second one, okay, it's the villain. Okay, sweet. So now I'm not too worried about the Curse of Daybane, and I can start, prep my hand. I know where the enemy is. Okay, so sweet. And none of these have an examine effect. Alright, we are looking good. So we know the enemy is coming up. He's got 2 combat checks. Let's see, what are we going to do? We are going to reset our hand. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Nethys, so we are able to explore. We have the Shock Lizard. But what's interesting with the Shock Lizard is it has electricity. And it says here, on your check that has the electricity trait, remove any 1 die. So normally we'd have our Wisdom die, but since it's at the Earthworks, we actually have to remove that die. So we're actually looking at an auto fail unless we're going to use some type of shenanigan. So that's pretty curious. I mean, we aren't able to acquire the Shock Lizard. Okay, so Shock Lizard is gone. Alright, and I think where we're at, we know that the villain is next. So let's go ahead and advance the Blessings deck. It's another Blessing of Nethys. So we are able to explore, and we are going to encounter the henchman. Alright, so it has the electricity trait, so we have to remove a die. So he's immune to the electricity trait. All damage dealt by him is electricity damage. He's a dragon electricity. Before you act, succeed at a dexterity or acrobatics 7 check, or you are dealt 1d6 electricity damage. Wow, that is brutal. So Drelm only has a dexterity of d6. So that is, wow, that could be an auto fail. Let's see. Oh, so we rolled a 4, and we needed a 7. So the Cleric of Nethys could have bumped that up. So as it is, we're going to take 1d6 electricity damage. So we take 1 point of electricity damage. Oh, you know what? So it says before you act. So we could still, either way, we could recharge this card. We can discard this card. So what we could have done, and we're going to shenanigan here, because we can recharge this card to ignore a non-villain Bane's power that happens before you act. So before you act, we'll just go ahead and say, we're using the armor to ignore that effect. So we can recharge it. Alright, have to remember to use my cards there. So now we have to do 2 combat 11 checks. Alright, so what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use this Falcata. It's strength through melee, d10, plus 2d4, plus we're going to discard this card and add another 2d4. And if we roll any 4s on the 2d4, we get to turn the 4s into 5s. So we're going to discard the card. It says here, thanks to the Earthworks, we have to remove any 1 die. So we'll just remove a d4. So, and this is a melee check, and Drelm has a melee of plus 4. So, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so we roll a 7, 8, 9. We rolled a 4, so that's a 5. So 14, 15, and 4 is 19. So we rolled a 19 on the first check. And now for the second check, we're going to go ahead and use our Spear of the Watchful Guardian. So we're going to use our strength or melee skill plus 1d6 plus 1. We're going to recharge this card and add another d6. So then, and if we would fail this check, you can discard this card to re-roll the dice. So we're potentially recharging it. These are our dice. We have to remove 1 because of the Earthworks. So d10 plus 6 Our modifiers for melee and the Spirit of the Watchful Guardian are going to be +5. So 5. Alright, and 12 is 17. So that is sweet. So we are, we recharged the Spirit of the Watchful Guardian. This villain has been defeated. It says here, so it has an after you act effect. After you act, bury all allies in your discard pile and recharge all allies in your hand. Okay, that's interesting. So we're going to bury, we don't have any allies in our discard pile, and the allies, we have an ally in our hand, so we have to recharge the Cleric and Nethys. And then, okay, so the henchman is defeated. Normally how I play is that if it does not have a, you may immediately attempt to close the location. We have to close the location deck by running through all the cards, and we have to bury an armor, so we have to make sure we keep an armor. So okay, interesting, we still have to play out this scenario according to my rules. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I think that's just the way I have been playing it. Maybe I'll change that for the next campaign. I'm not sure. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Elements, so we got this Curse of Daybane going on. So that means that we cannot explore this turn. But fortunately, we have a Blessing of Khepri in our hand, which we will use to discard it to explore our location. So let's go ahead and see what's there. Okay, it's a Nebat Charisma Diplomacy 6 check. Drelm only has a Diplomacy of D6, so that kind of sucks. Okay, we rolled a 5. We don't have any modifiers, unfortunately. That's cool. It's a Human Smuggler. This person would have been a good ally to Drelm. Oh well, it would have been kind of fun. But anyway, that boon is banished. We are going to go ahead and reset Drelm's hand. We're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Mat, so we can actually do a free exploration. And we get the Carrion Golem. Alright, Construct Golem Elite. Combat 14. So the Carrion Golem is immune to the attack, mental, and poison traits. Okay, so let's see. Attack, mental, and poison traits. Okay, well, fortunately we have in our hand a Glacial Copish. It does not have the attack, it does not have the mental, and it does not have the poison trait. Okay, so before you act, discard the top card of your deck. Okay, we're going to have to do that. And now, what we're going to do is do this Combat 14 check. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to discard this card so we can add 2 and the bludgeoning trait. So it's going to be Strength and Melee plus 1d8 plus 1. So total modifiers, since we're discarding the card, are going to be a +7. +7 plus the d10 and the d8. Alright, +7, and we rolled 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we handily defeat the Carrion Golem. Alright, let's look at our hand. We have 1 card left in the Location deck and 1 card left in the Blessings deck. So we're going to take some time and we're going to use the Hand of the Honest Man. So we can bury this card to banish a displayed card that has the curse trait. Alright. I mean, I think this is a really nifty item for Drelm. I'm glad he has it. We're banishing that. We're getting rid of Curse of Daybane. No more Curse of Daybane. And let's see. The question is do we want to explore or do we want to continuing on? I think we are going to reset our hand. And we're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's the last card in the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Bastet. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to just explore. Alright, we have the Curse of Teeth and Fleas. So it's a barrier and it's a trigger curse magic. Huh, interesting. So we if undefeated, display this card next to your deck. Wisdom, Survival, Divine. Well, Drelm has a Divine of D8 plus 3. He also has a Blessing of Pharasma. So we're just going to use that for an additional D8. So 2d8 plus 3, let's see what we get. So we get 7, 8, 9, plus 3 is 12. Okay, so we have banished this boon, or we have banished this bane. And now we need to close when closing. We're going to close the location. When closing, bury an armor. Okay, well, we've been holding on to this Scarab Buckler for a while for that express purpose. The Scarab Buckler is buried and the location is closed. Alright, pretty exciting adventure there. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was challenging enough. Let me go ahead and do some technical difficulties here. I want to zoom out this camera. Alright, let's go ahead and do a deck check here. So we have the Speak with the Dead spell there for Drelm. We have the Buried Scarab Buckler. Sorry if you can't see all these cards. For some reason the camera's not allowing me to zoom out as much as I would like. Okay, so we got the Embalming Fluids there. Blessed the Foot Jet. He kept that. Drelm, you know, I really like his deck. He kept the Cleric Nethys, so that was a cool backup there. Spirit of the Watchful Guardian, that armor. We still got the Vomit Clansman. We got a Blessed the Pharasma, the Glacial Copish. Man, what a great card. Sands of Time. Blessed the Capri. Alright, we kept the. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a very useful spell for Drelm for the remainder of the campaign. Alright, so looking at what the rewards are for this scenario. And the rewards for this scenario are we actually unlock the Auction House. And not only that, but we get a skill feat. So let's go ahead and take a look at Drelm's skill feats. Alright, so here's where he's at right now. He's pretty much maxing out on strength. And I think it's time to take a little break from the strength. Skill feat. I think we're just going to go ahead and max out his strength and his wisdom. I think that's just the way to go. I think we're just going to... He's always going to have low dexterity, constitution, intelligence, and charisma. I mean, it's kind of sad, but that's kind of how he's... Because look, he's got a D10 and he's got the D8 there. Everything else is D6. It's almost not worth bumping up. So let's go ahead and give him a wisdom plus +1 skill feat. Maybe that way he'll be able to recharge his Death Grip spell a little more. Alright, so zooming back out. That was the skill feat. We unlocked the Auction House, so let's go ahead and go there. For the Auction House, we're going to see... I mean, do we want to go to the Auction House? Yeah, Vomit Clansman is cool, and Cleric Nethys. But, yeah, I think we'll go to the Auction House. We'll see what's there. I mean, Drelm does have... So he has 2 allies. He did give himself an ally card feat, you know. That was his first card feat, was the ally. So, and then he got the armor card feat. It's kind of interesting. So, just randomly shuffling the Auction House, and we're going to see what level 1 or 2 allies there. Sweet, so we get this guy. Let's see, looking for level... We're looking for the levels 1 and 2, because that's interesting. For example, he can't get these allies anymore. Okay, so we get 2 allies, that ally. Level 1 or 2 allies, where are you? And what's cool about Drelm, of course, is that he is able to always shake down another item from the trader. So, let's go ahead and zoom out here. Once again, I can't really zoom out. So these are the 3 choices for Drelm. Over at the Auction House, he can get this guy, which says, at the start of your turn, recharge this card to draw 2 cards. If either card drawn has the Aspects trait, you may draw an additional card. I mean, that's pretty cool. Right now, Drelm's hand size is just 5, and he can use it to explore the location. So it's pretty situational, but since Drelm's hand size is 5, I mean, this could actually be very useful. Druid of the Storm. Discard this card to add 1d4 in the electricity trait to your combat check. Discard this card to explore your location during this exploration. Ignore Bane's immunity to the electricity trait. Add 2 plus the scenario's adventure check dagger and the electricity trait to your combat check. I mean, this is pretty powerful, but honestly, Drelm is a powerhouse. I mean, I don't really think he needs combat buffs, but that's just me. So this guy, he's a human cleric. Recharge this card and add 1d6 and the magic trait to your check to defeat a Bane that has the undead trait. Discard this card to explore your location. During this exploration, add 1d6 and the magic trait to your checks to defeat a Bane that has the undead trait. I mean, this could be a cool combo if I'm like using it with like Blessed of Nethys and I know what's showing up. I mean, it's a pretty cool illustration. I mean, honestly, call me, you know, what we're going to do here. is I'm kind of leaning towards this half-elf shopkeeper, you know, just because he can give me an extra card, and Drelm's hand size is low. So I'm thinking that if we do get this ally, the problem is that we really didn't get any cool Banes to trade, and we would actually have to lose some 2 items with the level 1 or 2. So that means that we have to probably like trade in 2 of these armors, and then we have to reset, get like a basic armor instead. So I don't exactly know how I'm gonna shenanigan this, and I'll let you know at the start of the next adventure, or during the next adventure I should say. That would be more accurate, or maybe at the end of the next adventure's deck check. So this is where we're at, considering adding this half-elf shopkeeper to our hand and for the rest of the campaign. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching. A very interesting, exciting adventure, and I'll have another adventure up shortly. Alright, thank you.